So the first little bit, you're just moving on the low F string along with some open strings right above it, and it just goes on frets 2, 3, and then 5. So with probably the next 2 strings above that. So just pretend there's no buzz and it's fine. So there's just that, and then you go to, starting on the lowest string, 4, 4, and 4, and then back up to 5, 5, and 5. So these are just 2 parallel major chords, follow one another right after the little na-na-na. So that's the first little bit. You're just playing the bottom 3 strings essentially. So. And then you move on to this next fancy little chord that's really pretty. You start on the 2nd string, 2, 5, and then the rest are open, and that sounds like this. So very pretty chord. So all together that goes. And it goes back and forth in between. And when you play this chord, try not to play the low F. If you do, it kind of adds a weird, I think, minor 9th in there, which isn't too pretty, so try not to do that. So you'll kind of go through different variations on that. And that next part, basically, and then open F, and then above that open F, basically a 4 on everything above the F. So a little bar chord there, F major, and then it'll sound something like this. And what I'm doing there, I'm just putting down a 5 on the 2nd highest string. Gives that little kind of Middle Eastern flair that Jimmy Page is pretty known for throughout a lot of his compositions. And then on this part, you just move that bar chord up to a 5, also not playing the low F string at that point. And then on the top string, you add in some 7s there, either on the top string or the top 2 strings. So either or, doesn't really matter. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. So that sounds something like. And the next little bit, basically you're going to be playing all open strings and then octaves on the 2nd and 4th string, which are the A flat strings here. So that will go, well, he does a lot of variations on that, but let's just start from the last section. So he'll come back to this little part later, but basically you're kind of playing different variations using D flat Lydian. So just kind of know where those go, and it seems that he improvises during that little kind of melodic section where you're playing the open strings and then a kind of Lydian melody over the top of that. Jimmy Page has done that sort of stuff before in things like Friends, I believe, and maybe a few other recordings I'm forgetting. And the Rain song is kind of similar, where you're just moving the melody along with a bunch of open strings alongside that. So yeah, the whole thing kind of goes. and then you'll go back to that. And then once you get back to this section the second time, when you have this kind of descending from 9 to 7, 5 to 4, and then back up to 4, on the A flat strings here, the octaves, you'll just kind of mess around with the kind of Lydian modal sound there. Yeah, that's pretty much it.